Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Movie of the Year, the only podcast that is not the Superhero Hour. My name is Ryan, and we're going to take a little break from going through the movies of 1997, and instead talk about the movies of 97. We're going to do what we call GenreBlast. We think that genre movies don't get enough due. It's always dramas that are winning the awards.
I agree. I've been saying this every single time we do any episode.
Every single episode, even if it is not apropos.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it doesn't apply, you'll just say that.
Yeah. Every single time.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do some mini brackets for other genres. The weird thing about 97, though, is that, and if you're in our big show, then you're not eligible here. We actually have a lot of genre movies. Like, we're doing Men in Black this year.
Yeah.
We're doing Contact. Is there anything else? Titanic.
Gattaca?
No, we're not doing that.
Gattaca didn't make
Idiot.
it.
Cool.
Sorry, buddy.
Hey, I have a confession to make. Until yesterday, I believed Gattaca was an entirely different movie. So if I said anything...
it's not, though.
It's not?
It's not entirely different. It's Gattaca.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ah, jeez.
Shit. Well, I guess I'm wrong. That's
Ryan,
egg on my
genre movies,
face.
we have a kids movie.
We do?
Hercules.
No, we don't have Hercules.
Really?
That didn't make it either, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's devastating to hear.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Hercules didn't make it. What
Let
did make it?
Let me ask you guys questions that you can answer.
What movies did
please.
they get?
Yeah. What's movies?
By the way, I'm here with Taylor and Greg. Cassie, what is up?
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for coming today.
Oh, of course, anytime.
How's Caitlin, do you think?
I think she's doing somewhat okay. She's a little cracked out on sugar right now, so.
Why don't you take over and ask her?
How she's doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Caitlin. Caitlin, we're going to stay calm. How are you doing?
Hey, what up, everybody? It's Caitlin!
Yeah, that's as calm as it's going to get.
Yeah, I feel like that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
You were right about all of that.
That's her inside voice.
Nobody's favorite genre is drama, and yet this is where all of our favorite movies come from. I'm going to ask you guys this one at a time, and I'm going to look you directly in the eye.
Oof.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Okay? What is the one genre, if there was one, and tonight we could be focusing on sci-fi, kids movies, action, comedy, thriller, horror, and romance. What's the one genre you would say will get you into the theater more than the others? Taylor?
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi over horror?
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably end up going to horror because I have a lot of friends who are going to see every horror movie. But if it's just me alone in my ideal scenario, it's sci-fi. I like sci-fi movies.
Greg, I know that yours isn't horror.
But it is not horror, no.
What's the one where, like...
I don't go to if a movie theater is playing a horror film, I won't go see another movie there.
Because sometimes you can hear that.
Yeah, and I get spooked, where I see the people and they're like, oh, do you remember that one part? And I'm like, ah.
You're trying to watch some kids movie and you can hear it be like,
Yeah, I'm in fear. I'm just like, now I have the fear.
What's the one that, like, you'll go see probably mediocre movie?
Carmody, for sure.
Carmody?
Definitely Carmody. I saw, in this last year, I saw The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Wow.
Come on. Who does that?
One of a dozen people who saw that movie.
Yeah, but it was like, it's a comedy. I'm sure it's going to be funny 3 times. And it was. It was funny 3 times.
You get 90 minutes with Kate McKinnon?
Yeah, dude. And it works. A lot of it fell on its face, but that's a genre of movies where I can sit there with my arms folded through most of it. And then if you make me laugh a couple of times, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Caitlin, what do you got? What's the one that'll get you in the theater?
I'll probably be around the same with the action comedy, but I also want to say kids movies because I really enjoy a lot of kids movies. Like the Lego movie was bomb. Shouldn't be classified as a kids movie, but I do love all
okay,
those
so what
kinds.
you're saying is that it was so good,
Yeah.
we can't call it a kids movie anymore.
No, it's for me.
The other thing about kids
so that's
movies...
genre bias. I see.
Kids movies, the other thing is kid audiences are fucking dope. The calls kid audiences make, not even trying to make a call, but just like something that like they suddenly have a moment of wonder and they say something out loud. Those are like the most precious
Very
memories.
good.
Oh, yeah.
There's like no boomers in those movies, and boomers are the worst like cinema group. I would rather sit with like 7 screaming kids than 7 doddering boomers, dude, for sure.
So I would say kids movies. I'm gonna say that one.
I watch a lot of kids movies, but I don't go to theaters for them. I don't know if that's embarrassment or...
That seems worse somehow. That seems way... You shouldn't have admitted that on air.
Cassie, what do you got? What's your favorite genre?
It's not really like snubbed that much, but I'd probably go in for action more than anything because I feel like it's the only proper way to see it, like an absurd action movie.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you got to experience the full experience with it.
It's the volume of the theater,
Yeah.
and then also the people. Like, I know it's cool to watch movies with kids, but I love hearing like a bunch of middle-aged dudes go like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
We saw Hobbs and Shaw in the theater together recently. and we had like the loudest possible experience,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then like vibro chairs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I couldn't imagine watching that movie at home.
No.
It was like it was upsetting to like be in that environment. But
At one
in a
point,
good
Greg,
way.
your chair took off, and we didn't see you for like 3
Dude,
days.
it shot me into the
Ejectocito
ceiling. It knocked me out. I still haven't seen the end of the movie.
And just to be a little more specific on that, I mean like absurd cartoon action like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
like
100.
you know how Denzel Washington's in these like very serious action movies.
Yeah,
that's
I
not, I don't care.
No.
Zero interest in
Yeah,
that.
I want physics to be gone.
Yeah.
All right, guys, those are great answers. I loved each of them. I think we're all a little bit closer now than we were before.
I could feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an energy in
There's
the
a
room
definite
now.
energy now.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do now is we're going to say, what if the awards were picked by us and actually gave a shit about genre movies? When we come back, a different genre. Hey, we're back! Taylor.
Yeah.
We're going to start with you.
Okay.
97. Are you ready for this?
I think so. I haven't found out what I'm about to do.
So in that way, no, I haven't been prepared.
There are a couple of things that I like haven't done specifically, but like maybe I'm good. Who
Okay,
knows?
let's see if you're ready.
Okay.
I want you to pick a genre, and we are going to do that bracket for 97.
Okay.
You have sci-fi, children's, action, comedy, thriller, horror, romance.
I'm gonna do sci-fi.
You're going to do sci-fi.
Yeah.
Do you think that 97 was a particularly good year for sci-fi?
I think here's the thing. I think it's probably gonna be better than horror, which is my other choice.
Yeah.
I think it was a good year for sci-fi.
The mid.
I think it was a year of like
Yeah.
rebirth for sci-fi. Sci-fi was like I feel like my recollection of it languishing before 97.
Yeah.
Where it came back like in such a big way.
Sci-fi was coming back, and horror still hadn't quite come back. The early to mid 90s are a fucking shit show for horror movies.
Horror
you
was
guys.
so bad. And
It's really bad.
like Wishmaster bad.
Yeah, like straight up, like the year 1990. After that, it's just a whole decade of garbage.
Okay, so the rules are we got these from Letterboxd. So the 8 movies that we're reviewing as their own show, they are ineligible. But this is what Letterboxd thinks is the top 8. Your first battle, first seed versus 8 seed, is The Fifth Element versus. And this will sort of tell you, whatever the 8 seed is, sort of tells you it's The Postman with Kevin Costner.
See,
So yeah, I think it might have been a mistake that The Fifth Element isn't getting its own show. So
I mean, that was one of the most contentious on our show.
yeah, right. Because didn't
Yeah.
it come down between Contact and Fifth Element?
Yes.
Which was like a very tough matchup, and also like the lowest ranked movie we've ever done.
Yeah.
I think now Contact at 22.
Yes.
but it came
Jodie
down.
Foster deserves it.
It just seemed like a deeper, more thoughtful movie. But the
Yeah.
Fifth Element like made sci-fi cool again.
Yeah.
Alien space opera lady. Like,
Yeah.
How did that not make it?
You
So-
guys, Caitlin Cass, you guys go to cons a lot. Is
Yes.
this movie still heavily represented?
Oh, definitely. You see people in that like orange leotard thing all the time with the orange wig.
That is
So-
an
Whether they can
iconic
wear it
outfit.
or not.
Whether they can wear it or not, they wear it. And then also, I don't remember what the character's name for Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Oh
Chris
my
Tucker.
God.
It's Chris Tucker as
Chris,
himself.
Chris Tucker as
Yes.
Chris Tucker. Everyone's always dressed
It's
up
Chris
as Han.
Tucker being just like a little bit more Dennis Rodman. Like it's just very slightly.
I'm pretty sure I know what's going to move on, but I will tell you guys a story. I saw The Postman in theaters, and the projector broke down like an hour in, and the entire place went crazy. They applauded more than like the end of any movie I've ever seen.
So it's very good.
All right, Fifth Element, you are moving on. Your next battle is The Lost World versus Cube. The Lost World is a Jurassic
wow.
Park sequel.
The-
Vince Vaughn.
This one is a little bit closer than I would expect because The Lost World is not. It doesn't recapture quite.
No,
No.
it had none of the magic of the
Yeah.
first one.
And Cube is like
Cube's actually a pretty dope movie.
Cube is a pretty good movie.
This one's easy for me because if you said right now, what movie would you rather watch? Easily, it's Cube.
And
Yeah.
It's fucked up and stupid in the way that sci-fi movies are, but
Yeah.
we're doing this like semblance of opinion and being iconic and stuff. But and Cube's a smaller movie, but way more iconic than that $200 million Jurassic Park
Right.
sequel.
Like even today, people are like, "Oh yeah, I guess there was another Jurassic Park." I feel like when people think about like the Jurassic World movies, they might as well just be direct sequels
Yeah.
to the first movie.
And then 3 is to Lost World, as Lost World is the first one. Like they
Yeah.
made it even worse somehow.
I think I remember the third one is the first Jurassic Park movie I ever saw. and it was not a good situation, you guys. It did not make me think that the Jurassic Park movies were well regarded.
Ladies, what do you think?
I was honestly too scared to see any of the Jurassic Park movies. I started watching them, got too scared, and turned them off. So I don't know. And then Cube, I thought
It is your favorite shape.
Cube is a good shape. I do like squares, and
This is 6 of them.
multiple
Yeah,
squares
dude,
is pretty
imagine.
cool. So
That's like
6 squares just fucking hanging out.
that's like that movie Sextuplets, but for squares.
I feel like Cube kind of paved the way for Black Mirror, so it
Oh.
gave way to Netflix essentially. So I'll go with the Cube.
All right, Cube takes it down. Your next matchup is Gattaca versus Alien Resurrection, the 4th Alien movie.
So listen, the 4th Alien movie is dog shit.
Yeah, that's the worst of the Alien.
It is
movies.
not good.
It's directed by a French person.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also, for every single episode of this show that we've done where we talked about Gattaca, believed that Gattaca was the movie Equilibrium. So,
It's just not.
yeah.
I mean, that's just patently
just-
wrong.
It just isn't.
That's just on face value. You
Yeah.
can just tell that is not right.
So I feel like I said a lot of stuff about Gattaca when we were doing the selection process
Yeah.
that makes no sense when you actually think about the real movie.
Gattaca's a perfect movie for right now. It's all about huge corporations being so up in our business, even down to our genetic code, being able to
Oh, yeah.
modify it. It's speculative fiction more than science fiction.
Yeah.
And I think it makes a lot of very interesting points. And then there's sort of a melodrama wrapped up in that. But the parts of it that are about big corporations in the future being scary powerful down to the genetic level is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite Jurassic Park question, which is, we were trying so hard to see if we could.
Exactly.
We never thought about whether we should, which is better than the other Jurassic Park question, what's up with all these dinosaurs?
Yeah.
There's not a lot to go on from there.
Yo,
ladies-
Richard Hammond, real quick question. What's up with all these freaking dinosaurs? I wasn't paying attention to the orientation video, and this is weird.
Dr. Malcolm, I thought you were a chaos doctor or something.
Dude, a lot of people mistake me for that guy.
One of my favorite tweets I've seen recently was someone was like, if the guy from Jurassic Park actually existed, he would be in the Epstein docs. And I can't remember who tweeted that, but every time I think about Jurassic Park now, I'm like, that dude was into some weird shit.
For sure.
You're talking about the creator, right?
Yeah.
Richard Hammond.
Richard Hammond.
Dr. Hammond did it before Epstein. Had
Yeah.
a helicopter that took you to a secret
To
island.
a secret island where he's doing all sorts
he's
of
got
crazy shit.
he has got some weird
Crimes against nature.
because the weird dinosaur fuck island that he's invented is the thing that he shows to people. What is he hiding?
You know he owns at least 3 other islands.
Yeah, what are on those other islands,
We were
Richard
so
Hammond?
busy trying to figure out if we could fuck dinosaurs. All right, ladies, have you ever seen or heard of Gattaca?
No, but Gattaca's way more fun to say. So
Gattaca,
Fun
yeah.
word.
Gattaca.
Gattaca.
Well, I think we have our winner. It's Dog Day afternoon. Your final matchup in the first round is Starship Troopers versus Event Horizon. And I'm starting to think, is our Patreon episode going to come from the sci-fi column?
I think
I want to
so.
do all these shows.
I think Greg was right when he said sci-fi really had a resurgence starting around 97 because pretty much all of these, other than sort of the bottom of the barrel ones, are very good movies.
Yeah.
I don't know which of these I would even be able to pick. I guess we'll find out by the time we get to the end of.
For me, it's super
bracket.
super easy.
It's super easy. For me, it's definitely Starship Troopers because
Yeah.
fucking Event Horizon is terrifying and disturbing and awful. I think it is more of a full spectrum experience, Event Horizon, but just because of its sheer unpleasantness, which it strives for and achieves over and over again.
Yeah.
Whereas Starship Troopers also layers in nice visuals and funny moments to sort of take the edge off.
And Neil Patrick Harris.
And-
He's not on the Event Horizon.
NPH.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers, right?
Yeah.
Event Horizon. No one's going to
You
join in
wanna
on that
bring it
one.
to a vote?
No one's going to
Event
jump on
Horizon
that
would be
one.
on a short list of best sci-fi horror movies of all time, right?
Yeah, probably. It's up
And-
there with Alien.
Honestly, if the board was telling the truth and there was more horror movies, it wouldn't be on this list. But it was just hard to come up with that horror bracket. So, no, wait, then it should be on that list.
Yeah.
Fuck the board. The board's
Dude,
stupid.
the board makes things so fucking confusing.
All right. So, next round, your first battle is The Fifth Element versus Greg's song? I don't remember.
Gattaca.
Gattaca. Fifth Element versus Gattaca.
Dude, this is hard.
Jesus
This is just
Christ.
like Fifth Element versus Contact.
Yeah.
Because one is definitely a more thoughtful movie, Gattaca, and I think it asks a lot of important questions. But Fifth Element is a bright, big, bubbly, fun experience.
I think that Fifth Element is from a art aesthetic view, it pushes way past Gattaca. But from a thoughtful and culturally relevant currently aspect, Gattaca wins. So I have no decision.
Also, Fifth Element might as well have invented the Marvel movies. It's the same color palette. It's the same aesthetic mix of comedy and drama and action.
And it might as well have invented Borat, because her and Borat are basically wearing the same swimsuit.
And also, Bruce Willis keeps going, come out to the coast, hang out with my wife.
My element.
All right, I have to go to a vote then. Caitlin,
Yes.
Fifth Element or
Gattaca.
That one really cool one to say. The Fifth Element was a really fun movie for me to watch. I watched it recently, and I thought it held up pretty well, entertainment-wise. And I don't know. I'm going for Fifth Element.
I think that's my biggest concern is I haven't seen Fifth Element in so long. I don't know if it holds
Does
up.
it hold up?
Caitlin said it did.
Has it turned into a Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets?
God, how dare you.
A Jupiter ascending.
Cassie, Fifth
Beast.
Element or Gattaca?
I gotta go with Fifth Element just because solely Taylor brought it home for me where he was one's deep and meaningful and one has a dope aesthetic, and I'm gonna go with the dope aesthetic.
And I'm going for Fifth Element, so you guys don't have to vote.
Oh, well,
Fifth
well-
Element wins.
I would have voted for Gattaca.
I think I would have voted for Fifth Element.
I just want to put on record that I would have lost.
Your next matchup for the finals is Cube versus Starship Troopers, and I feel like this is where Cube runs out of.
Dude, great showing, Cube.
Yeah, you
Good-
did
good job.
Yeah.
Deep.
Good job,
Cinderella
Cube.
You
story.
took down one of the bigger movie franchises.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst
Shout
movies
out
in the
to
franchise.
Cube.
But definitely, dude, you did it. Now, here's your basket of
Yeah.
goodies. You just take that.
Hop
and
on
you
that.
just head on home.
Hop on that old mare and ride
Head
off
on
into that
back
sunset.
to the creek of see you later, right? And row yourself on down to the waterfalls, or you're out of this thing.
Now, Caitlin, Starship Troopers is not one of your favorite shapes. Are you okay with this decision?
It's not a shape at all, actually. So,
oh, Captain Geometry over here.
I'm gonna have to say I don't vote for it.
All right, we'll go to a vote. I'm voting for Starship Troopers. Taylor?
I'm voting for Starship Troopers.
Greg?
Troopers.
All right, Caitlin, get the fuck out of here. This is the big one, guys. Fifth Element versus Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
This is where it all comes out.
This is a good one. This is a good matchup.
Which one has?
Why did we all stop talking so Taylor could do that?
I was like, oh, he's doing something.
I really appreciate that you did though.
Here comes something good.
Five of us.
Which one has Chris Tucker?
Fifth Element.
Okay, then I think I'm leaning towards that one.
Is this just Chris Tucker versus Neil Patrick Harris?
It
Pretty much,
100%
yeah.
is, yeah.
When it comes down to it, it is a fist fight between those two men, and whichever one physically comes out on top, that's who wins this bracket.
For me, it's Fifth Element because of the reason I said earlier. It's just, it feels like it began a whole, almost genre of movies. And sci-fi wasn't cool and fun for a while before this year. And Starship Troopers is kind of fun, but nowhere near the just pure entertainment of The Fifth Element.
I agree with you if you switch the movies around. So everything you just said, but Starship Troopers instead.
That's
no.
agreeing with me.
No, I disagree.
But I saved all that time by saying that and then just switching the movies.
I feel Starship Troopers is a fine film, but I feel like its parody and over the topness only goes so far. Whereas I feel like Fifth Element is a fully realized world with just a whole it's you don't see movies that get made like that anymore unless they're Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets.
The elevator pitch, and that is the last time you're allowed to say that. The elevator pitch of Beverly Hills 90210 if there was giant space bugs. That doesn't work for you automatically?
I don't know. Is there like a Doogie Howser in it?
Yes, there's a Doogie Howser in it.
Oh shit! Okay, well then I might be on board. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Guys, we don't know who's going to win. Cassie, who do you think?
I'm a big fan of space bugs, personally.
I'm gonna go for Fifth Element. It's still represented at
Son
cons.
of a bitch.
It's
Wait,
still relevant, I feel.
if I told you that your vote was the deciding vote, would that make you change it?
No.
God damn it. All right, Fifth Element is the #1 sci-fi movie of 1997.
That feels right.
Yeah.
Caitlin,
Yes.
Pick a category. We got children's, action, comedy, thriller, horror, and romance.
Let's go for children's.
All right,
for
guys.
900.
Children's horror, please.
Barney.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Barney.
Your first matchup for kids movie is Hercules versus Air Bud.
Oh, my
Wow.
God. You're going to start out with
fucking
this?
How
Stab me in the heart.
upsetting. What an upsetting
Just
early
fucking
matchup.
kill my family, why don't you?
Air Bud was such a formative movie for me as a child.
Yeah.
I wanted a golden retriever so bad, and I wanted
There's
to teach
nothing
him
in the rule book that says Airbud can't move on from this bracket. Dude,
Oh, no.
Caitlin just referred to Air Bud as a formative experience.
yeah.
She is who she is right now because of the
Because
movie
of Air Bud.
Honestly, I am. I started playing basketball because of the movie Airbud.
Oh, you can use your nose? Well, I'm in then.
I'll just poke it in with my face.
But the problem is, I watched Hercules this morning, so it's so hard because they're both really good movies that I would continue to watch today.
Hercules is a million times better
Yeah.
than Air Bud.
I like how we're
Fuck
entertaining
off!
this conversation.
Oh, fuck off!
And you know what? It does say in the rules that a dog can't play.
No, it does
You have
not.
to
Sorry,
be a
you have the
person.
rule?
You have to be a
No,
person.
who would
to play
explicitly write that
basketball.
down? Who would explicitly write that down?
What defines a person? Does his soul go to heaven?
All dogs
Yeah,
do
go
go to
wherever.
heaven.
You know
yeah.
what? I'm with Cassie.
That's
You know
right.
what? That dog is a person.
And the movie covers this because at the end they say actually dogs cannot play basketball, and then they're like, "All right, I'll play football for the sequel, Golden Receiver."
It's a regional children's league basketball league. Their regulations are 1 page long, single spaced.
That dog supposedly got cancer and died.
Good.
What the fuck are you doing to us? Why did you do this?
I think there's more to the story. I think he knew about that some of those games were fixed, and he was going to talk.
Oh, it was
You-
Daniel
oh.
Stern or David Stern, like getting rid of him.
I think this was a beandog situation.
I was about to say. I thought
I think Air Bud is another beandog.
you think they beandogged
I
Airbud?
think they beandogged Air Bud for
He
sure.
knew the secret recipe.
He knew the secret recipe, the fixins for the
Goddamn.
game.
I can't believe this, but I have to call for a vote.
Thank you.
Cassie, Hercules or Air Bud?
One has a good boy, and that's Air Bud.
Yeah.
Taylor, Hercules or Air Bud?
One has a good boy, and it's Airbud.
Oh my God. Greg, Hercules or Air Bud?
One has a god boy, and it's Hercules.
Are they-
Plus, let's not forget that Hercules goes on in the story later after the cartoon to kill Megara with his bare hands. That's just a fun thing to think about with Hercules.
That was in Hercules 2,
Yeah.
Golden Receiver. I'm definitely going Hercules. Fuck, Caitlin. Here we go.
Caitlin, it is Hercules.
Let me talk about my very good boy, Air Bud. I love him so much, but Hercules is a really good movie.
Ah, we were so close.
I would go the distance for him.
We were so
Okay, I'm going to go to Greg, Caitlin, and Cassie for this one first.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's just going to be the three of you because it's your number 2 seed, Anastasia,
Okay.
versus your number 7 seed, Mouse Hunt.
Oh, okay. I've seen both of these. Anastasia, I don't know. Mouse Hunt was a lot more fun. Did you guys even see that movie?
I have not seen either of these movies. Is Anastasia the one about her whole family gets like gunned down and then she's a lost princess? That doesn't sound thrilling.
And that was If I Can Learn to Do It, right? Wasn't that the song from it?
Yes.
If they forgot to kill me when they killed my whole family.
Also, it's not the one with the cats, right? There's Anastasia with cats, and there's Anastasia with the real person.
Yes, it's.
Okay.
This is a real
But
person.
you mean the real animated person, right?
Yeah.
But she did survive the family killing. So it's a more fun animated movie than like the Anne Frank story.
And then Mouse Hunt.
Yes.
That doesn't sound nice.
I've never heard of Mouse Hunt.
Two grown men trying to hunt a mouse, you guys. Like, what more do you
All right,
want?
Taylor, why do you like fucking Mouse Hunt?
Okay, so it's Nathan Lane and it's the British guy from There's Something About Mary, and they have a house that their old ass like father left them, and it's in disrepair. But there's a mouse, and it drives them
yes,
fucking
little
crazy.
mouse.
And they call Christopher Walken, who's the exterminator, and the mouse is
Wait,
fucking
the same guy from Pulp Fiction?
Yes, and the mouse fucking kills Christopher Walken, you guys. It's a fucking cool ass mouse. There's a whole lot of scenarios at the end. Because one of them's like a chef, and one of them wants to run the yarn factory. But how's the mouse fit in? String cheese, motherfuckers! It's an incredible movie. It's impeccable.
Wow.
I almost picked it as my pick over. I Know What You Did Last Summer for the actual bracket.
This is a toss-up for me. I'm going to go to a vote. Greg, Anastasia or Mouse Hunt?
I gotta give it to Mouse Hunt. That epic retelling.
Mouse Hunt or Taylor?
Yeah, both.
Thank you.
Caitlin?
Mouse Hunt.
And Cassie.
Mouse Hunt.
All right, that is it. Mouse Hunt is an upset against Anastasia.
Stupid bat movie.
Probably a better movie, but it was sad.
Your number 3 seed is Flubber.
Oh, damn.
Oh shit.
Flubber.
Who the fuck are my friends? Your number 6 seed is Good Burger.
Oh fuck! What the hell? This is so hard.
Welcome to
How-
Good
how am I the
home of the
only
Good
one-
Burger.
Can I help you?
How am I the only one that chose child's movies as like my favorite? Because these are the best movies.
This is the heavy hitter category.
I will say this: Flubber is terrible,
Yeah,
What?
and
certainly. Flubber is an awful movie.
and has gone away. Whereas Good Burger, as you saw Greg and Taylor do immediately,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
still quoted and thought of.
Well,
Sorry, I
but-
can't get little pieces of flubber and put it in my shoes
Yeah.
and become a major league basketball player.
A Major League Basketball player.
I know sports.
I do appreciate the apology, Caitlin.
Part of the NBA.
I will say, I remember a lot about Good Burger. The fact that it was just dodgeball before dodgeball, the movie happened. But the only thing I remember about the movie Flubber is that Flubber was bouncy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like Taylor, very very bouncy.
It was very bouncy.
Yeah.
And the merchandising for it was just like, I don't know, here's like some rubber balls. Say that it's
Rubber
Flubber.
balls and liquor, right? That's
Yeah,
what they did.
it's just like say that.
I
it's
feel like
Flubber.
at that time we were still in the place where people would just be like, "It's Eddie Murphy's in the movie, so just you're gonna go see it." And it was around Flubber where you're just like, you know what? No more. You can't keep making me see these Eddie Murphy movies. And they're like, clumps? And it's like, no, stop.
Was Eddie Murphy? in
No, it was
Flubber?
Robin Williams.
Yeah. What movie are you thinking of?
Nutty Professor or Dr. Dolittle or Daddy Day Camp.
Yeah. In
Eddie Murphy's still a
retrospect,
good example. If not
in retrospect,
Flubber.
Robin Williams shouldn't have been in Flubber. It should have been
I
Eddie
totally
Murphy.
just remember that as.
Yeah, because that's an Eddie Murphy movie, but they
Yeah.
put Robin Williams in it for
Well,
some reason.
again, I was a junior in high school, so all I wanted to do was like show that I was cooler than all of these movies.
Right, absolutely.
Except for Hercules.
Yeah, and so that has stunted your growth,
Yeah.
obviously.
And Hercules was an Eddie Murphy movie, right?
Yeah.
Hercules.
Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy and Eddie Murphy as Eddie Murphy.
I think this is a slammy D. Greg, I will go to you first. Flubber or Good Burger?
I say Good Burger.
Caitlin?
Flubber.
Oh, shit. Cassie?
I mean, Flubber was thick and they made cute little noises, but it's Good Burger.
Thick or
Good
thick?
Burger. Thick. They were thick.
Was the Flubber alive?
yeah.
You're thinking
Yeah.
Ghostbusters too.
You brought it up, and he made funny like me. Like I loved it.
I think I was thinking of the Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
He
were-
was alive.
Yeah, he was also alive.
Yes.
Cassie, what was your vote? Sorry.
Good Burger.
All right, and Good Burger takes it
Yeah.
down. Your final battle in this round is Brendan Fraser. Future Pop Filter Hall of Famer, I would say.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
In George of the Jungle versus Home Alone 3.
So
Can we
then,
call for this right now?
yes. George of the Jungle.
It's George of the Jungle, right?
'Brandon
100%.
Fraser trying to
George
like
of the
be
Jungle.
an actor,
Yeah.
and they're just like, you play a different type of caveman. No, please don't do this to me.
It's like Encino Man 2, Blast from the Past 3.
I can do a lot of different types of characters, though.
All right, we have our final four. Your first round is Hercules versus Good Burger,
Oh wow.
which is a great title of a movie.
Hercules versus the Good Burger. If he can eat the whole thing, he gets it for free.
Listen, Hercules took away Air Bud, so I'm voting for Good Burger solely out of
Spite, a spite vote.
But see,
vote.
don't you want the team that beat your team to win?
I do. Because
No.
I'm a loser.
No,
I do, so I'm saying Hercules.
I wish evil things upon them, which is why I am going for Good Burger.
Oh
It's
my
got to be Hercules.
Hercules.
This is one of the like.
Hercules wins.
This is one of the okayer Disney movies.
It's
Oh,
okay.
It's way more than okay. It's very good. It has great songs. Got bops in there.
And I don't know what this fight's going to be like. Because nobody gave an impassioned speech about George of the fucking Jungle. But
Okay.
it's Mouse Hunt versus George of the
But
Jungle.
when George of the Jungle runs into that tree, like he slaps into it.
He's supposed to watch out for that tree.
He's watch
got,
out
like,
for
a
that.
one
Ooh,
job.
tree.
Okay, but what about when that mouse makes a sandwich and and Nathan Lane is like, oh,
Yeah, I saw Ratatouille, dude.
he's
I
like,
don't know
he's
the
like,
bullshit
oh,
movie.
he put the cheese on the other side and toasted the other so that the cheese wouldn't get too hot. That's a very smart mouse. That's just some of the things that happen in Mouse Hunt.
That's just some of what you could expect
Yeah.
if you pop in a VHS of Mouse Hunt.
In the movie Mouse Hunt, there's a single piece of string that they are like very, very obsessed over, and the mouse eats it, and so that's why they're trying to get the mouse. And that's just some more of the things that happen in the movie Mouse Hunt.
They had this one piece of string
It was a one special piece of string
Cool
because
movie,
their father
bro.
had
Caitlin.
their
Mouse
father
Hunt
had
or
a
George of the
string
Jungle?
empire.
George of the Jungle.
Greg,
Mouse Hunt.
Taylor.
Mouse Hunt.
I'm going with George of the Jungle, Cassie. The deciding vote.
Yeah, it's gonna be George of the
All
Jungle.
right.
Now, come on. There's a food critic eats a cockroach.
A cockroach.
A cockroach.
Cockroach.
Does Brendan Fraser stand a chance against Hercules? Tate Donovan, the father of Marissa and Caitlin Cooper.
What?
Do we have to talk about this? It's from the OC.
God damn it.
It's Hercules versus George of the Jungle, guys.
Yeah, I
This
think
feels like a done deal.
This feels like a Hercules situation.
Yeah, like everyone just saying Hercules, Hercules,
He's fighting some of the
Hercules.
real Hercules in the situation.
Does anybody want to fight for George of the Jungle?
Does anyone want to labor for another movie?
Yeah, you know what? Fine. Yeah, I'll do it. George of the Jungle. It's
That was
got
a rhetorical question.
is Brendan Fraser, and he's swinging on vines, and that's just some of the things that you can expect from George of the Jungle.
And he's trying to be just like a regular dude. It's basically the story of Tarzan.
Yeah,
It's George.
but what if we didn't have the name rights to Tarzan?
Hercules did
He
give
talks to
way
animals?
the Disney
Yeah, he
Tarzan.
does.
And that was a downward spiral from there. The movie started getting real bad.
Yeah,
at that point.
dude. Yeah, that's like
And then we got to like Atlantis, the Lost Empire.
a real
Oh,
terrible
okay.
streak.
That was,
Treasure
are we
Planet.
saying that's bad? Are
Yes, Caitlin.
What? Treasure Planet?
What?
You mean the movie that featured the
These are not
song
from
"Can You
97.
Take Me Higher" by Creed?
Can you take me
Me higher.
How can you say that's bad?
Yeah.
Hercules takes it down. So far,
I'm glad we got to do some singing on this one too.
two number one seeds have taken it down. When we come back, two more genres. Oh, God, what laughs. Cassie and Greg, who's going next? Fight about it. Arm wrestle. Who would win in an arm wrestle?
Cassie, you are a guest, and she
what a
also should
gentleman.
probably win in arm wrestling. So why don't you take the next one?
All right, I'll take it.
You have action, comedy. The two separate ones.
Okay.
Not action comedies. Thriller, horror, and romance.
Ooh, I'll go for action.
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 Guys, your 97 first round is first seed and maybe the movie that I'm most upset about not being in our top 8. Face
Oh my god, yes. Okay.
versus Volcano.
Oh,
Oh.
Slammy
So-
D.
But this was one of those years, though, I have to mention, where Hollywood was like, we need to make a bunch of different movies that are about the same thing.
That so many people were getting their faces off in 97.
Yes. But this was because Dante's Peak also came out this year, right?
Yeah, I don't know about how much we want to spoil about the future
Oh, okay, yeah,
bracket.
definitely. All right, sure, yeah. So Volcano.
A clarification on Volcano. This is about a volcano that was
In LA.
LA, right?
Like, we
Erupted.
know we have to worry about earthquakes.
Yeah,
But now we got
A fucking
volcano.
volcano, dude.
You never.
Volcano.
It's always the volcano that you don't expect.
I
that's
know,
gonna
man.
Get you.
This is sneaking right up on you.
Do you guys remember the end of Volcano and how it was the crash of our generation?
I don't remember the beginning of Volcano.
Tell you
I
anything
could.
about
I can
it.
tell you any fact about 1 second of Volcano.
Yeah,
other
I
than
told you
its
everything
name
I
is
know. already.
Volcano.
I remember the lake in Echo Park started like boiling.
Oh.
I live very
Done.
close to that.
So at
Is
the
it boiling? If it's boiling, watch out.
You know what? As far as I know, it has not been boiling. But if it is, I will get out of there.
we give Crash all the credit for solving racism, right?
Yeah, of course. This podcast is very pro Crash.
But the end of
We are talking about the PlayStation 1 game, right?
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Volcano, there's like some racial tension throughout the movie because it's in LA, home of racial tension.
Yep.
And at the end, the volcano blows up and they're all covered in ash and all in the same color. And they're like, guys,
Oh.
now we have solved it.
Wow.
Volcano.
That's so beautiful. What a nice, gentle way to handle something as combustible as race relations.
Your next, and that's Face Off, yes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
face off.
Oh, yeah.
Your next matchup, and this one is probably the greatest matchup in the history of GenreBlast. Your number 2 seed, Batman and Robin, versus your number 7 seed, Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Oh,
Oh,
Wow. Speed 2 cruise control. Does Speed 2 make the joke? I think it does. Makes a joke where it's like, I can't believe I'm in this same situation
Yes.
again. And just me, not the guy from the first movie. Just one half of us.
I love when we see how actor economics work because Keanu Reeves wouldn't come back, so they had to move a step down, and one step down was Jason Patric. So now we know exactly what one step from Keanu Reeves is.
Yeah. But also, they were like, all right, who's going to be villain? Fucking Willem Dafoe, the most villainous dude
Yeah, you
that
go
has,
get
go
Willem
to.
Dafoe.
that has ever existed. I can't think of a single thing Willem Dafoe has ever done that isn't, I'm a villain.
Florida Project, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be in one fucking movie where I don't have to be a monster just because I'm slightly sinister looking.
He still, as the apartment owner, he still had the green mask and the hoverboard thing, but he wasn't bad. I don't know what to do here, guys.
What's the other movie? I told
You don't know what to do here?
Batman and Robin versus Speed 2 Cruise Control. These are two of the worst movies
two of the
humans have ever made.
I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna go with Batman and Robin just because the only way you can judge these movies is by how bad they are, and Batman and Robin is definitely way worse.
You know what?
And more
than
fun bad.
Speed 2.
That actually
Yeah.
has made up my mind.
It's deeply
really-
entertainingly bad. Like
Yeah.
I think you can have fun if you
Because
have like a
this is-
group of people sitting around.
This is the Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy.
Yes.
and
Yeah,
Bane
dude,
one.
all that nipples on the suit.
What killed the dinosaurs?
Holy Rusty Great Batman.
Yep, that was in there.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, you guys! This is such an awful movie. If they suddenly decided, let's return a little bit to that '60s camp, but not fully commit to it.
Yeah, it
Man.
was Joel Schumacher who made The Third and the Fourth saying, I was like handcuffed with Batman Forever. Now I'm unleashed. Now I can live my dream.
Look upon my wonders.
So Batman and Robin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, all day.
Batman and Robin moves on. The volcano strikes back in Dante's Peak. We have no way of knowing if it's a different volcano, right?
I
think it's the same. Same
there's
one.
not that many volcano actors, so I assume it's just the same guy.
Versus
It's-
Con
it-
Air.
Oh.
Oh damn! This got to be a slam dunk for Con Air, right?
I mean, yeah. There's no way that Dante's Peak, Volcano 2.
I feel like maybe people's sort of ironic love of Con Air is a little over the top, but it still is a legitimately.
It still kind of holds up, at least.
It is, at least culturally, much more important than Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak. That had Pierce Brosnan in it?
Yeah,
I-
and Linda
yeah.
Hamilton.
Man, what are the chances of that? That's a very random casting. That's for the big wheel of castings.
Yeah, but like we can't say everyone likes Con Air too much, so then we hate it even more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by
There's definitely an aspect of Dante's Peak that was just like, I don't know.
it feels like
It's a movie.
Tommy Lee Jones was actually in Volcano. You just put him in Dante's Peak.
Yeah.
Have you guys both heard? You guys have both heard of Dante's Peak, right?
Yes.
Heard of.
I
Yeah.
would say people 10 years younger than you have never heard of the movie, and it will like completely be forgotten.
Yeah.
Con Air
Yeah,
has a
the
big
only
footprint.
reason I've heard of Dante's Peak is because it came out the same year as Volcano, and it's
Yeah.
involved in that conversation of like Deep Impact
The
and
Armageddon
Armageddon.
Deep Impact of
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Yeah, or like
Deep Impact and Armageddon.
or like or like fairly recently, I feel like there were like multiple earthquake movies all in the same year. And it's like,
All with The Rock for some reason?
yeah.
Like,
What you can't double dip. The volcano, I get that the volcano can double dip. It's like the monkey that is in everything.
and I got to say, if I'm being honest, I would say Dante's Peak was the Divine Comedy. I think that it was all just downhill from there, Taylor.
What?
Ooh.
Which section is Divine Comedy?
Shut up. Your next matchup. Con Air moves on. Your next matchup is... I'm just going to start with the first one. The Four Seated Tomorrow Never Dies.
Okay.
Another Pierce Brosnan joint.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Bond at this time?
Tomorrow Never Dies. This was
Yeah,
not
who was else?
this was not the Halle Berry one, right? Because
It's
that's
not the one
No,
where
this is
they're
the
in
Denise
ice.
Richards one.
Yes,
Oh,
Christmas comes twice
Christmas.
a year.
Yeah,
Right.
she's Dr. Christmas Jones.
Yes. Okay.
And he, after what has obviously been a steamy sex scene, because that's the only type you get with James Bond,
Or Pierce Brosnan.
he looks directly into the camera and says, "That's funny. I thought Christmas only came once a year."
I think anything after like Goldeneye.
I think we accepted. I think we wanted there to be a resurgence. So when GoldenEye came out, we
Yeah.
told ourselves, "This is it. This is a good Bond. We love this." It had Ivanka on a top or whatever. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
as stupid. The woman who killed people by crushing them between her legs.
Yeah.
That was just as stupid. But around the time of this movie, we were realizing how bad GoldenEye really was. Like
Yeah.
it had gotten so awful. We were like, "No, this is just a lost generation of Bond," and that's really
Yeah.
what it is.
I wasn't a Bond person when this came out, so it may have been my first, but everyone loved GoldenEye, and I did not get it.
Yeah.
Like, this
Yeah.
seemed real dumb to me.
I think this was the stepping stone on the way to, like, by the time you get to that last Pierce Brosnan one, people were like, these movies fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like, I think
They're
that
no fun. They're so
Yeah.
bad that they're no fun.
like the Invisible Car one, I think people were like, this is the worst one other than like maybe the time that like George Lazenby dressed up as a clown.
Hey, that one's good. But I love the end of the one before that one where it was like James Bond will return in the Invisible Car one.
Yeah.
That got me pumped up.
Very excited for
Tomorrow
the
Never Dies
Invisible Car
goes up
one.
against Air Force One, which
Hell
is a movie
yeah,
that
dude.
I actually stand behind.
Get
I think
off
this
my
movie's great.
plane?
Yes.
Dude, yeah.
President Harrison Ford.
This is one of our last great presidents.
It was right before that time where like any president in media also had to be like partisan, where you should be like, I'm just the president of the entire United States, and we don't have to get into my political affiliation. Like, you cannot make that movie anymore.
It's an honorable position, so anyone in it is de facto honorable.
Of course.
He was very much like a George Bush type, though. A George W.
Oh, yeah.
Bush type. Like, you know, he had served in the military, and so, like, he was prepared to take care of himself. That was, like, totally the dream of the president.
Back then I appreciated an action movie that, like, Air Force One isn't great, but we have a kick-ass Harrison Ford.
Yes.
You go get Gary Oldman for the bad guy,
Yeah.
the Willem Dafoe of our generation. I thought it was so fine that it was good. you
That
know?
moment where he says, "Get off my plane," that's a movie that's a moment like as big as movies. Like
Yeah.
that like is an iconic moment. So
It's a very big deal. I think Air Force One slam dunks this.
Cassie,
Yeah, I'm with the Air Force One.
Greg.
I'm Air Force One all the way, baby.
All right, and then we have our final four. Air Force One takes it. Our next matchup, Face Off versus Con Air. Cage on cage, right? A cage
Yeah,
match.
dude, it's a cage
Yes.
match for sure.
Oh.
See, this is where the rubber meets the road, though. Like, this is where I do think the Con Air hype is overblown.
Yeah.
Because
when I-
Face Off is a solid, creepy, cool, fun action movie.
And
Con
also
Air-
batshit insane.
Yeah. Con Air's okay, but it's no Face Off.
Like, Face Off takes everything that you like about Con Air and then adds in a good movie on top of that. Like, I don't know that Face Off can be beaten.
Well, I agree with you on one aspect. Like, I do think that Face Off has so many aspects of a good movie more than Con Air, but also it's also stupider and bigger and dumber.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it has everything I need.
Yeah, like just reading that description, you get kind of lost. Like the little brief that the internet gives, it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
this person takes this face and then becomes the other person. I was like, I no longer know what is happening, but I am fully in.
So then you get to see John Travolta acting like Nick Cage.
God.
And Nick Cage acting like John Travolta.
a true gift, honestly.
It seems like a pitch that someone would make now, like, as a joke.
And
Like it.
it's hilarious watching them. I know I've said this a bunch tonight, but I wish we were dedicating a movie
Yeah.
to this movie because John Travolta like is just unhinged and a psychopath. Like your Nicolas Cage is, and Nicolas Cage is like for the first time ever just like this meek, cowering.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Sandy, I don't know. Am I gonna die? All right, Face Off wins. Your other matchup is Air Force One versus Batman and Robin.
That
Oh, well.
What if we skip 2 rounds and just gave it to Face Off right the fuck now?
you know what? I think that we can
Yeah,
do that.
Face
Might as
Off
well.
trounces both of these.
All right,
So
Face Off.
Face Off wins.
You are the number 1 seed and the best action movie of 97. Cassie,
Yes.
you picked action. Face Off is your movie. I need you to watch it now.
Okay.
All right. Greg,
Yes.
you're picking the last in
Kermity.
genre. You have horror, romance, or comedy.
Kermity.
All right. Do we have any comedies in the top 8? Men in Blackish?
I think
It's an ABC
Titanic.
show.
I do not know.
All right. Remember, these are picked by Letterboxd. Your first seed is Life is Beautiful.
Oof.
Your 8th seed is Vegas Vacation.
What?
One of these movies will move on.
Hey, Greg, why the fuck did you pick this category?
Okay.
What was going on in 97?
Life is Beautiful has really fallen off, and it's not a great comedy, but it is so much a better movie than Vegas Vacation, which is like not even an
Yeah.
attempt at making a movie, really.
Yeah, so I think Life is Beautiful. It just moves on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Austin Powers is your number 2 seed. Spice World is your number 7 seed.
Oh, fuck.
Austin Powers, pretty good movie. Spice World, come on.
It's Spice World.
I can tell you, Austin Powers doesn't hold up to this day. Like, watching it now, hard to do.
Yeah.
Spice
But
World, however,
How about Spice World?
Oh, without a doubt holds up.
Spice World was already bad, And it has only gotten worse.
But no, Spice World has a little bit of that Josie and the Pussycats of our generation.
Oh, yeah.
We all ignored it and thought it was stupid when it came out. And now people are like, this might be way better than we thought.
Really?
Yeah, it has had
Am
a
I just
resurgence.
thinking of Josie and the Pussycats?
I think you might just be thinking of Josie and the Pussycats, but I have seen some resurgence of Spice World where people are like, you know what, this movie is way better than people said, because people shit on it mercilessly from the day that it came out.
It feels like you can have an opinion of it before you even see any part of it. Like I've never seen any element of it, but I feel like this has got to be a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it is. And it's very terrible, and I enjoy it.
Are we going to seem too iconoclastic to move Spice World past Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery?
For me, it's Austin Powers between those two. That has definitely had a bigger cultural footprint.
It is Austin Powers.
Okay. But Spice World, thanks for playing.
Yeah, put up a good fight, I guess.
Your next matchup is Liar Liar versus The Full Monty.
The Full Monty, that refers to dicks?
Dicks.
Yeah,
Yes.
taking the pants
Okay.
all the way down.
Liar Liar doesn't have that happen.
No.
So wait, which one are you arguing for?
I'll leave that to you.
The Full Monty, if you were a movie watcher back then, it was the My Big Fat Greek Wedding at the time.
Okay.
A very small movie that fucking exploded. It was
Yeah.
so big. But I don't think it got so big, or it's still talked about enough today to take the place of the movie that gave us The Claw, the ultimate way of tickling.
The Claw!
You're afraid of the clock coming at you.
That's what so was the hype behind the Full Monty that you were gonna see Dick? Because we have Tinder now, so I have no interest in this.
Tinder have dick?
Oh, so much dick.
It's a sea of dick. It's nothing but dick.
There's a high and then there's a dick following right up. So I don't need it.
There's an overabundance of pictures of penises.
Yeah.
I think the
Are you
market.
saying too many?
Yeah, I think there's too many.
Yeah, the market's saturated.
I will say, the Full Monty is one of those very quaint movies for the most part. And I don't think you actually in the movie do see dick.
Yeah, I don't think you
okay.
do.
The audience watching these very plain looking men dance, they see dick. But the camera cuts in such a way that you will not see a bunch of
Not
really-
interested.
Yeah.
Don't no longer want to see it.
Now you hate it.
I think it's important to note that the main dancers, the two main characters, is the crazy guy from Trainspotting and the first king, Robert Baratheon.
Uh-huh.
Those are the two guys that you almost see their dick.
The whole movie is a promise that you're going to see those dongs, and then you don't.
I cannot abide a broken promise, especially when it refers to floppy dongs.
So, Liar Liar,
I
believe so,
guess.
yes.
I
Liar,
guess that's
liar.
where we are.
This pin is blue.
your number 4 seed of 97 comedy is Bean.
As in Mr.?
As in
Yeah.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
Does anybody know what Mr. Bean is?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. It's
Sir Rowan Atkinson.
Rowan
Yeah.
Atkinson.
And he likes to put his head into turkeys.
Yeah.
And take his
Roasted
pants off in front of
Woo!
women.
Woo, woo, woo,
Yeah.
woo. Oh, dear, oh,
Has
dear.
he been Me Too? Does he got caught up in the movie?
Just his face, his big eyes when he gets
And
that
he's
message.
known for giving long soliloquies, right? Mm-hmm. I'm Mr. Bean.
It's up against Greg's pick, Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. Your
Oh.
number 5 seed.
Get out of here, Bean.
Yeah, actually, get out of here, Bean.
Get out of here,
Get it,
Bean.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Romeo and Michelle, you move on. Probably going to be tough to beat. Your next matchup is Life is Beautiful versus Liar Liar in our final 4.
Liar, liar, baby.
People hate Life is Beautiful.
People really do. But Liar Liar is a pretty mediocre movie. It's not bad Jim Carrey, but it's not good Jim Carrey.
It does have that scene where, and I think this has become now a somewhat classic of rom-coms, of him going to the airport, getting on the little thing, and riding alongside
Of
the
course,
plane,
yes.
Uh-huh.
trying to stop the plane on the runway. And I think it.
They call that terrorism. Now.
Well, yeah, I think it laid the groundwork for that Fast and Furious 6 long runway scene.
I think the other famous scene, too, is actually the outtakes at the end.
I was gonna say I don't know why I can vividly
Yes.
remember
Yeah,
all
so
of
can
these
I.
outtakes.
Him and the opposing lawyer, Jim Carrey and Swoozie Kurtz, they're screaming insults at each other, and at a certain point they start making them up, and he gets really mean, and then she screams at him, "Overactor," and he loses his shit.
Yep.
I think liar, liar.
Liar,
I
liar.
guess
Liar, liar, you
This
guys.
is about Life is Beautiful.
Send that on to the finals.
The other one is Austin and Powers versus Romy and Michelle.
Dude, I wish we could do our one extra show about Romeo and Michelle. This might be the movie that ages the best of any of the 97 movies. A comedy way ahead of its time, constantly breaking out of just like the simple genre of you expect it to be just a female like buddy comedy, but becoming like a music video at points, delving like deep into like fantasy. It's so weird.
It's weird. That's the thing.
It's so delightfully weird at a time where comedies weren't quite that weird generally. Now I feel like all comedies are just fucking weird as hell.
Yeah.
So I think it's very, very, very much ahead of its time.
All right, guys, let's put it to a vote. Does anybody think Austin Powers should move on?
No.
Is it sort of fun to kick Austin Powers out?
It is.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Now,
Do I make you horny, shag me?
yes,
Spot on.
If you're gonna honestly ask me, then yes.
Get in my belly.
And then I don't think I have to do Romeo and Michelle versus Liar Liar.
No. I don't
Yeah,
get
well,
it.
yeah, I think you do. I'm going to call for a vote.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You're outing yourself as having no taste in comedy.
Listen, that has been outed from the first time I stepped foot on this podcast.
Also, for the last 10 minutes, all we've taled about is how dumb and mediocre Liar Liar is.
Yes, and I am
can't
voting
believe it
for.
made it to the finals.
I am voting for Liar Liar.
Cassie,
Yeah. I'm going to
follow
Yeah.
your heart.
listen to my heart.
It's going to tell you what to
When
do.
it's calling for you.
It's Liar Liar.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
god. It's Romeo and Michelle.
It's Romeo and Michelle.
All
Producer
right,
Dave.
Producer Dave, step up. What's it going to be?
By any other name, is a rose still a rose? That's not the line. Is that the line?
From
Romeo
what?
and Michelle.
Romeo and Michelle.
Romeo and Michelle.
God damn it.
Moving on.
All he had to do was say the name of a movie, and he still producer Daved all over that. Guys, Romeo and Michelle is the 5th seed in the comedy bracket. We didn't give the number 1 seed the award. The number 1 seed for Thriller was The Game.
Oh, okay.
Does that hold up?
Oh, dude, that would have
Sure.
won. That would have won.
Yeah,
for sure.
the game's good.
Your number 1 seed for horror is Scream 2.
I think that would have won
Yeah.
based on people repped for it pretty hard.
Yeah.
By the way,
and horror sucked in 97.
I asked my brother, who's a big horror fan, what he thinks he should win by looking at this bracket, and you know what he said?
What?
Wishmaster. Which is on the
Wishmaster.
list.
It's not.
If you like dumb, stupid, bad makeup, bad costume,
Yeah.
horror, it's definitely that.
And your number 1 seed for romance was Chasing Amy.
Oh.
But also had my pick for the bracket, Gross Point Blank, so that probably would have won.
That would have won,
Yeah.
I think.
That's our show. Next week we have Good Will Hunting, a movie that I'm a little nervous about.
Yeah, I'm interested. I think it'll make a very interesting show because I think there's going to be parts where we're very laudatory and parts where we say, that's sick.
And how long before we drop the Boston accent on that show?
Oh, I'm going to do it the whole fucking time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really charming episode.
Just like Boston people. Congratulations to all the winners. For Ryan, I'm Cassie. For Cassie, I'm Greg. For Greg, I'm Taylor. For Ryan, I'm producer Dave. Bye.